For the first time in 130 days, the United Nations has delivered fuel into Gaza. A UN team brought in 75,000 liters to support life-saving operations. Officials warn the supply is nowhere near enough. Without more fuel, critical services could collapse. The UN is urging immediate action to prevent humanitarian disaster. Let's listen in to the spokesperson for the Secretary General of the UN.
Yesterday, a UN team managed to bring in about 75,000 liters of fuel from Israel into the Gaza Strip. This is the first such provision in 130 days. As we mentioned yesterday, we and our humanitarian partners need hundreds of thousands of liters of fuel each day to keep essential life-saving and life-sustaining operations going, meaning that the amount entered yesterday isn't sufficient to cover even one day of energy requirement. Fuel is still running out and services will shut down if greater volumes do not enter the Gaza Strip immediately.
Now we go back to our guest discussion with Spencer Critchley. Thank you, Spencer, for staying with us. What are the immediate priorities for this limited fuel supply? Do we know anything for now?
Well, I think, as usual, to stop the suffering and death, as you know, hospitals have been shut down or destroyed, and the ones that continue to function are severely limited in what they can do because of this severe lack of fuel. And we've seen this now going on for a year and a half. Again, I would make no suggestion whatsoever that Israel did not have the right to defend itself against the horrifying attack committed by Hamas on October 7th, 2023. But what's happened since then, as I say, has gone well past the defeat of Hamas and the restoration of security for Israel towards this policy that now at the least amounts to ethnic cleansing, has involved a great number of what I think can easily be called war crimes. And as I say, involves these daily tragedies of civilians, including children, being killed either in airstrikes or dying of preventable diseases or potentially dying in incubators shortly after birth, as we're seeing right now. And even when vital supplies of fuel and food and medical supplies have been resumed, they're often at a very restricted level and often are slowed down by extremely careful security checks. Again, security checks are completely understandable, but it's hard to believe there's any serious intention on the part of Netanyahu's government of relieving this horrible suffering. And I know that a great many Israelis themselves are horrified by this. And it's hard to come to any other conclusion that what's really driving this is Netanyahu's personal self-interest. He wants to remain in power, and he especially wants to remain in power because he's in danger of being prosecuted and going to jail if he were to be out of power. And so he, in order to do that, he allies himself with the most extreme and radical and fanatical elements of the right wing in Israel and continues to pursue these inhumane and really inhuman policies.
Thank you very much, Spencer, for sharing that insight. You will stay with us as we stay on the region.